Big and powerful country.
It is. The corporation of people, the Tesco of the country, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Has anyone played the World Trade Game?
Yes.
That one's really nice.
That's a good idea.
And maybe to also convert it into some maybe table or something rather than just the shape they were able to. They could actually
They found up as a whole experiment.
so
The transdisciplinary theme is sharing the planet. Our year group is Year 6 and possibly could have links to the Year 6 exhibition. The ideas that we came up with for our central idea were looking at the global environment, markets, fair trade, food, culture, children, moral issues, and whether fair trade helps or hinders communities around the world. Our central idea is our consumer choices impact the lives of communities around the world.
We've tried to think about how we can incorporate different types of communication within our unit. So we'd like the students to interview market traders, asking them about what their choices have been in terms of what they're selling and what they find consumers are asking for. Also looking at the using communication in terms of persuasive writing, persuasive video campaigns, persuasive radio campaigns in terms of advertising of the product that they decide to work with.
Actually, with maths ICT, because there is a lot of data to be gathered and to be analysed, and we can use ICT. We can use like Excel spreadsheets to do the analysing and make it graphic as well.
Our assessment activity would be that the children would possibly design but mainly market a product in any way and explain their choices about how they're marketing it, who to, and what they will use.
Looking at outdoor learning, we'd like to come down to the Camden Market, Farmers Market, fish and meat markets and supermarkets, looking at if they use fair trade and analyse trade figures and such.
And the action that we're going to encourage the students to have is to convince ICS to use fair trade products in their school lunches and in any other areas of consumption. And we're going to try and enlist the help of Jamie Oliver to come and show the children how to convince an organisation to change their way of thinking of consumerism, and hopefully maybe he can even convince Lara to use some fair trade products.
For the SEN students in the PYP programme, they'll have a LSA that will be there to support and differentiate work when necessary. We're also using a lot of visual and kinesthetic learning throughout, so it will be really catered towards them, especially during assessment where there will be a lot of choices to pick from.
So our plan for our lesson for MYP 4 and 5 Science is to explore the link between global warming and the rise in algal blooms in Camden Lough. Actually, the group came up with this idea as we were walking along towards Camden, and we noticed the amount of algal blooms in the area, and we thought it would be a really, really good idea for the students to actually come here and see this for themselves, and then not only will they understand the concept of algal blooms, but we will also work on exploring what causes algal blooms, what causes the rise in algal blooms, how can this rise be linked to global warming, and also it will give the students an opportunity to do some outdoor classroom activities, but also conduct their own research in a scientific way, and then also the MYP students will then take the data they have garnered and then they'll pass it on to DP students, so it will be actually cross-class activity as well, and it will give the students an example of what it is to be collaborative learners, as we've been doing today in our group. We do a lot of collaborative learning, and and you can see we're doing a lot of collaboration today, and so the activity will be mostly based around the field trip, and then we'll take what we've got from our field trip and we'll bring it back to classroom, and that's the plan.
The DP students, the subject area is maths and computer science. They will be analyzing statistical data concerning the rise of algal bloom globally as well as locally. And we are actually in Camden Market now, in Camden Lock. MOP students will collect the data, they will organize everything, give it to DP students, and they will analyze that. Create graphs, they will go online, do some research, find data from all over the world, like South America, North America, Australia, Africa, all over the world, collect data from there and compare the oxygen, nutrients and everything in the water. They will create, for the assessment, they will create graphs, they will compare the levels of algal bloom around the world, UK, world and Camden Market, and they will create a multimedia film with visual documentation of their finds, which they will show to the whole school basically. They might be students, possibly PYP students as well.
The SEN provisions for both MYP4,
Statistical data concerning the rate of global, the algal.
Thank you. Can I ask you a question?
No?